Hi, so today it's my trade recap from the 25th of July 2025. So today I was pretty bearish in the short term, otherwise I was bullish in the long term for the day. So we had these 4-hour fair value gaps that we went through yesterday. We respected it. Plus on the daily, as you can see in the few days back, we went into these daily gaps here, which is a major draw on liquidity that we took, and then we expand towards the upside. So we took from yesterday these equal highs. So I was pretty bearish for the short-term trading. So today I took, I believe, 2 trades. The 2 were on NQ. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark out what I was seeing for the day. So this was the news. Market open here. Okay, that's great. So what I was seeing, I took 1 trade pre-market, actually, and 1 trade during the macro. So here it is. So in the night we generate buy side liquidity, we generate a few bearish gaps. So we had this 1-hour bearish fair value gap, we had also this one here, like this. So I wanted to see return to these gaps to then target this low, this London sell side liquidity, like this. To go deeper, the trade that I took pre-market, it was based on this major SMT here that we have, like this. So Nasdaq didn't took this London high, whereas the S&P did. So that was a freaking bearish sign to me. And we also did respected these little 15-minute gaps here. I'm gonna mark out here 15 minutes value gap. So I'm gonna scale down into the 5 and 1 minutes. Though the news came out at 8:30, we poke into this 1-hour gap and this 15-minute gap. We respected both of these gaps. So plus this SMT, I was very bearish for this trade pre-market. And I enter here like this. I put my stop here and my TP was on this London low right here. So that was the trade, the first one. So I enter here because we inversed these bullish 1-minute value gaps. That was for me an important gaps, because with these gaps, that's the major push to go towards the liquidity. So if we reversed this 1-minute gap, for me it was sure that we're gonna at least target this low and the London low here. So I wanna thank Trump for his little tweets about Europe tariff, I believe, because you see this daily candle, this down candle, that's what's make me hit my first TP. So this trade was 3 risk reward. I made over $600 on this trade. A nice trade. I'm pretty happy for this trade because it's one of these few times where I take a trade before the market open. but it's a good one, as you can see, because it was a great manipulation. We had this great SMT here with the SMP. I'm gonna mark up here the SMT. And so that was the process for my first trade entry. So pretty simple, very basic. That's my model. We had a liquidity sweep on S&P, forming an SMT with the Nasdaq, a bearish one. We respected the 1 hour and the 15-minute fair value gaps, the bearish ones, as you can see here. These 15-minute gaps here, we respected it. We only wick in it. And we inversed a 1 minute fair value gaps. So that was the base point of my entry. Now I will cover my second entry, which one? This one? Yes, this one. So for this one, I knew absolutely where price wanted to go. So it was a two risk reward trade. So the market opened. I knew that we are going to take this pre-market low. I knew it. It was so obvious to me, because if we wanted to go higher, which was my bias, I wanted the price to go higher. I wanted to see this low get taken out. Okay. So once I see that market open and we wick just above this low, I was 100% sure that we're gonna go down to take this liquidity. However, I didn't go short based off this. Why I didn't take a short? Simply because we haven't had an SMT, a valid one, because here we can see we went at market open at 9:35. We went and we took this liquidity here, and we also did on the S&P. So that was not enough bearish confluence for me, and we haven't had any gaps in here, any bullish gaps to inverse. So there was no point for me to go short here and target this. That was too risky. However, when we went below here, this low, I knew it that we were gonna go to the upside. So I wanted to bottom tick and enter, I believe here, because we also had this 1 hour low here that we took. And so I knew that if we took this liquidity, if we took the pre-market low, it was 100% sure that we're gonna go target this London high here, this pre-market high, and this Asia high here. And maybe go into these 1 hour gaps to maybe reverse later, but you know, that was the main drawn liquidity that I was seeing for the day. So I knew that we're gonna go long, and I enter here only based off two things. So the first one, we inversed this 1 minute gap here. And I think there was like a 5 minute gap or something. I don't really remember. No, there wasn't. But I enter in this little pullback here with this little wick. I think I enter here in the mid of the gap here. Yeah, I enter here. That was my entry. Like this. 2.3 risk reward trade. And there was a big ass SMT, because as you can see, we haven't took this low in the S&P, whereas we took the low, this London low, in the Nasdaq here. So we had this major SMT, that bullish SMT, and we also made a small one, which was still for me very important, because this low, this little pre-market low, we took it on the Nasdaq and we didn't on the S&P, as you can see here. So there were two major SMT with the two indexes. I think there was yeah, there was another here. So there were three fucking bullish SMT. That's why I wanted to bottom tick here and not wait to enter here. But to pass the funded account, I wanted to be sure that the trade was valid. So that's why I enter here for a profit of 800, I think, on this trade, something like that, or maybe 1,000. I don't really remember, but it was a great trade, a great setup. I'm proud of these two trades. So that was the two trade I took today. So I got my first 50k funded account today, and I got another one, which is, I believe, like midpoint to being valid. So next week I'm gonna have, I think, two funded accounts, and maybe a payout next week or maybe a week later. So I'm very happy with my trading today. Very good psychology, very good exit point, very good entry, very good price action too. We very respected the model that I use. The SMT were freaking golden, and so yeah, that was the trade for today. Also, we perfectly respected the cycle time. So 9:30 we manipulated, and 9:45 we then reversed to the upside. So that was a very nice trade. In my books, that was the perfect trade for me for the day. This trade was also good. I did risk, like, I think it was like 220. That was the risk. Whereas in this trade, I risked like 450, which is my usual risk. So here I made 610, and here I made, I think it was like 1,000 or something like that. So thanks for listening to me for today, and see you next week. Bye bye.